welcome along, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for the Fitness Australia is Listening series. I'm Chantal Brodrick, and first and foremost, I want to welcome my fellow board members, Edwina Griffin and Jen Dugard. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks, Chantal.
Great to see you guys here. And I also want to say a warm welcome to the FA team members that are joining us this morning, or this afternoon now. It's ticked over to afternoon. First of all, Barry Elvish, the CEO. Welcome along, Barry. Welcome also to David Batty, Eastern States Manager. Welcome to Luke Morris from the customer service team. And I think I've also got Rachel there as well. Welcome along to Rachel Ellie as well from our marketing team. David Lewis is here as well, our WA Regional Manager. Lucas Dixon is here as well, Standards and Development Coordinator. And I think I've covered everyone off, guys. So welcome and thank you to all of you that are joining us this afternoon for this session. Now, these sessions are all about you, our members of Fitness Australia. So we want to give you the opportunity, the chance to share with us your pain points, your challenges, your highlights, anything and everything in relation to your business and in relation to Fitness Australia. And this is an opportunity for you to share your feedback. And I just want to say welcome also to Steve Grace, who has just also joined us, SA Regional Manager. Now, as you can probably tell already, these sessions, they're completely raw. This is not about us talking, it's about us listening to what's going on with you. So whenever possible, we will, of course, answer any questions that you have. Anything that the team or any of us can't answer, we will get back to you. But we also want to really encourage you and invite you to share feedback. And one of the best ways to do that, to start off with, is to switch your cameras on. So if you are joining us today, we would love to see you. Joshua, thank you so much. Great to see you. Welcome along. It's no pressure, but it is great to see you guys, and we would love to hear from you during this afternoon. We do have a couple of little ground rules that we just ask, and that is please obviously be kind and respectful to everyone in the chat group. Please keep your questions short and sweet, and there's no such thing as a silly question, as we all know. Before we kick off the conversation for this afternoon, I do want to acknowledge our friends from T2. And right now, I reckon that Jen and Eddie are probably holding up their beautiful cups as well. T2 have very kindly sponsored their sessions. And to get the party started this afternoon, I might just throw over to Luke and we will do a little bit of a chocolate wheel spin, because we've got a T2 gift set to give to one of our attendees this afternoon. Luke, have I thrown to you too early? Have you got the names?
That's all right. I think I've just got everyone's names in this.
Oh, good
little
work.
wheel.
I was going to say, otherwise we can start the conversation.
Yeah.
But Luke's going to spin the chocolate wheel, and we're going to give away one of these great T2 sets to someone who's joining us this afternoon. So here we go. This is really exciting. You've got a good chance because it's a very quiet little group this afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for coming along early as well, guys. Got your names in there. So best of luck. Best
of luck, everyone. So this is the winner of the T2 gift set, and the winner is Joshua M. Congratulations, Joshua.
Well done,
And the only person with a camera on too. Totally. So I think that's a well-deserved win.
We all hate the limelight, don't we?
That's right.
I'll shoot you a message soon. Josh will grab your details as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Luke. Okay, guys. So as I mentioned just before, we would love to hear your feedback, and please feel free to talk to us about how things are going in your business, how you're finding your membership with FA for those of you that are members. If you've got any feedback for us, we are here to listen to you guys. So Joshua, given you've got your camera on, you are so welcome to get the ball rolling if you want. And I really invite everyone to turn their cameras on. It's only a small group this afternoon, so we'd love to see you. Joshua, anything to chat?
Yeah, look, just the question that's probably prominent in everyone's mind, and where we stand HR perspective wise with our employees coming back to work. It's just I started a very general conversation and email amongst my staff last week, and I'm already being herded into the corner of I need a direct personal email to me, and I feel like it's backing me into a corner. They're trying to make some moves against us. So I'm just not too sure where that all stands, regardless of anyone's position on vaccinations or not. I just want some clarification. Obviously, that's going to be forthcoming from the government. It's hard to react to, but just trying to get some clarity on that.
Joshua, which state are you based in?
New South Wales.
You're in New South Wales. Oh, yep. There you go.
Am I supposed to be here?
Everyone's welcome. Everyone is welcome. We did a New South Wales session the other day, but you are so welcome I have a feeling everyone else will be kind of SA, NT, TASI.
I'll just hang around then. That's
ACT,
good.
but everyone is welcome. So David, I'm going to throw to you because I know that you're going to jump all over this one.
Jump all over it. I'm not sure about jump all over it. It's going to be an interesting one going forward. The government mandate will be separate to what policies and procedures that you decide to adhere to within your facilities. There's going to be, we're seeking current HR advice on it, and some advice around the legalities, as well as the government's doing the same thing. And a lot of people are doing the same thing, as you know. It's something that's bouncing around a lot, and we're not able to get a direct answer at this stage for you. But as it starts to evolve, we'll definitely be passing out information as that evolves.
Chantal, can I just add to that as well?
Yeah, of course, Barry.
And I think maybe we should respin if Joshua's a ring in from New South Wales. But I was on a call yesterday with New South Wales government, and this issue is really hot at the moment because clearly they've put out these health directives. It's unclear at this stage if the health directive is actually backed up by any legal power, to be quite honest, and the government is aware of this. We have raised it with them since we became aware a couple of weeks ago that we're going to be reopening at 70%. The obvious problem here is who's going to be responsible legally for enforcing, who's going to be responsible if there's a discrimination claim, etc., etc. So the New South Wales government and the Victorian government will be aware of it very soon, if not already, are going to need to put into place some, I guess, sticks and carrots so that they don't expose business owners or people, employees, to situations where they are faced with altercations or having arguments or being held responsible for people that lie and come into the service, etc., and so on. So, Joshua, I would respectfully ask you to keep in touch with our social medias. As soon as we get some definitive information, we're pushing it out because the government is very much aware they have basically created a bit of a problem for not just our sector, but hospitality was in the news as well yesterday, exactly the same issues. Who is going to enforce, what's going to be, who is going to be responsible, where's the liability, where's the indemnity, and so on. So they're aware of it. We're trying to get some clarity, and I think we've got 3 weeks to get that before we actually open up.
Thanks, Barry and David. I just feel like the some of the advocacy groups that are acting on behalf of employees and members that may not be able to return are a little bit further ahead of the game, and I felt there was a level of entrapment that was playing out for me, and it made me nervous to even respond to this email. That was all. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Barry. And Joshua, thank you so much for that question as well. Brett, welcome. Thanks for turning on your camera. It's a beautiful backdrop that you've got there.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things that I guess that we have is that even though we're in lockdown, we're allowed to go for our 2-hour walk. So the background is just one afternoon. Every afternoon we take a photo of the exact same spot, and that seems to be something we look forward to each day.
That's absolutely beautiful. Brett, while you're on camera, was there any feedback that you wanted to give to the FA team? Any questions that you had for us this afternoon?
No, probably just probably for Barry, because he may know this, but like each day at 11:45, our minister comes on the screen and tells us, you know, how many we have, what the easing restrictions may look like and things like that. Where's our voice? Are they hearing our voice in their cabinet meetings when they're deciding about these easing restrictions, or is it just something that each of the cabinet members with their own knowledge, and we're not even sure how much knowledge they have, but
so Brett, which minister which state are we talking about?
ACT.
Yeah, so I might flick that one across to David because he's in those discussions with the ACT. But in terms of New South Wales, which I thought you were calling from, our discussions there have been with the New South Wales Treasurer, who's been pushing the restrictions and the openings. But David can probably give you an update on the ACT, I hope.
Yes, of course. So we're in discussions with ACT Health and the Chief of Health's office, as well as a couple of the members of the Parliament down there as well. So we are definitely, our voices are there. Whether they're being heard or being interpreted correctly, that's going to be something else, but there is definitely a voice being spoken for you there. We've been pushing quite hard at the moment to reopen gyms, definitely in line with any other service-based industry. So that would be your cafes, restaurants, the things that will always open in line first, and we're definitely in line with those to open hopefully first in the ACT from the discussions we've had. So it's what the roadmap looks like. It doesn't exist yet, so it's not formulated. They don't have numbers. They don't have anything to fill into it. They know that they're going to do something at 70% and then something at 80%, but what those are, they don't know yet.
Yeah, probably one of the things that we have also is that I manage the gym on the Australian National University campus, so we also come under what their feelings are as well. So as much as the ACT Health may be saying this is what may happen in the ACT, the National University may turn around and say, well, that's well and good, but for our campus, this is also what's happening. So we're under their restrictions as well.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to be a difficult one when it has that double jurisdiction and somebody else also has control over it. But we're hoping to give you the ability to open, and then what the ANU does from there will be what the ANU does.
Brett, thank you for that question then. And I just want to invite, I know we've got quite a few people on screen that haven't got their cameras on. I'd love to invite you to share your camera. It's a great way to get involved. And if you don't want to be on screen, but you do have a question, then please, you can just come off mute and you can ask that question to any of the team here this afternoon. And I might also say it doesn't need to be a question. If you just want to give some feedback, or if you want to just talk about how things are with you in the state that you're in, you're very welcome to do that as well. I know that everyone is going through different things depending on where you are, so you're very, very welcome to have a chat as well. If you don't feel like getting on the microphone, you can of course pop something in the chat box as well at any given time. Everyone's all quiet this afternoon. Eddie's going to say something.
Yeah, Chantal, I just wondered where the other callers are from. Even just be great to understand so that we know what topic we might want to talk about. It's hard to, because we don't know where anyone's from, even if they can put in the chat box. Where
I think your dog wants to have a chat.
I know. Did you hear that? I'll be quiet. I'll put it on mute.
He's talkative in the background, but great question, guys. If you'd like to pop that in the chat box, that would be awesome. Or if you want to have a talk to us, that would be great as well. Everyone's super quiet this afternoon. Okay. And happy. Okay, excellent. I think that's a great idea. Carrie from the ACT, welcome, Carrie. Great to have you here. Carrie, feel free if you wanted to give us some of your feedback. And I'd also love to know, in addition to Eddie's question, be great to know who's gym owner, if we've got PTs, if we've got franchise owners, what sort of business you're working in, would be interested to know as well. If anyone wants to share that with us. And Brett, I was going to ask you that question, but then you answered that question in your talk just then. And if I don't get any other feedback, I am going to throw, here we go, Canberra, want to start your own fitness business, qualified PT. Awesome, fantastic to hear. Thank you for that, Sharon. Great to have you along. Stephen, because you offered so kindly, Steve Grace, where are you, Steve, on my screen? Because you offered so kindly to do a bit of a state update, I reckon that would be awesome. We've got another New South Wales, oh, Josh, that's you, New South Wales, good. Manager in Western Sydney, PT Studio Director, Canberra, Sarah, thank you so much. Great hearing from you guys. So what I'm going to do, guys, and feel free to jump on at any stage or come off mute, and I will give you the opportunity to have a chat. Steve, I might just throw to you quickly, if you want to do a quick update for us on SA, and then we can go around, and if there's any other questions, we can move back to questions and feedback. Over to you,
No
Steve.
worries. Thanks, Chantal. I'll do SA and I can cover NT as well, if you like. So we're lucky enough, obviously, here to be outside of lockdown. So gyms are open. In SA, there's a 4 square metre restriction, and also some heavy restrictions on mask use as well. So you need to be wearing a mask when you arrive and when you leave as a member. And all staff have to be wearing a mask unless they are performing vigorous physical activity. So if you're demonstrating exercise, so for example, you're at the front of a group exercise class and you might be going through a lot of physical activity, you don't have to wear your mask at that point, but you need to maintain 1.5 metres of distance when you're just walking around a room as an instructor, then you need to have your mask on. So that seems to be working quite well. We have a really strong relationship with SA Health and also SA Police, who are obviously the ones in charge of enforcing all of the rules here. In the Northern Territory, we did have a brief lockdown there a few weeks ago. We are now back to being fully open in the NT. Things are a little bit simpler in the NT. There's less restrictions. It's basically you're all open or you're all closed. We have put to NT Health a bit of a framework of eased restrictions, so a bit more of a stepped pathway out of lockdown to basically give us the option to open sooner. So if there is another lockdown in NT, we'd like to see gyms being able to open with certain restrictions in place sooner than what they otherwise would. So that's been really positive, dealing with them and also dealing with the small business minister there in the Northern Territory as well. So yeah, that's a brief snapshot, I guess, COVID-wise. We're also doing a lot of things with sport and rec here in SA and obviously over in WA as well. So a lot of exciting stuff which is happening at the moment.
Awesome. Steve, thank you so much for that. And I'm just having a look back at who's joining us this afternoon, and I can see obviously we've got a couple of managers, studio directors. Sharon, you mentioned that you want to start your own fitness business. I want to invite you guys to feel free, if you've got any feedback on what's working for you from a Fitness Australia perspective, on what you've been enjoying, perhaps has been coming out of Fitness Australia. It definitely doesn't need to be COVID related. And I should also mention that if anyone doesn't know, there are weekly COVID updates from all of our state managers and from Barry that you can always tune into to find out what the latest updates and restrictions are and the effects on the fitness industry. But you're very welcome to give us feedback about what's working, anything that's not working, things that you need, resources that you need from Fitness Australia that we can help you with. Feel free to let us know this afternoon. Okay, I'm having a look around.
Chantal, just before,
yes, Barry.
Before you go over to David, just following on from Joshua's question. Yeah. Yesterday we had a really good webinar with a lawyer talking about how to access the rent relief in Victoria and New South Wales. And it was fantastic. We had about 160 odd people on the webinar and a lot of really good questions coming through. And right at the end of that, when we went off camera, I said to him, I raised this issue that Joshua raised about, you know, the indemnity and who's going to be responsible under mandates. And the lawyer said he'd be happy to come back on either next week or the week after and run a webinar for our members to answer most of those questions. So I didn't remember that when I was speaking to Josh before, but I would really encourage anyone who's going to have, well, we're all going to have questions. He's going to do a bit of research, the lawyer, and be able to come back and hopefully give us a few answers to inform us all. So it'd be something really worth tuning into, and hopefully we can keep the people off the webinar that are running loose about anti-vaxxers and stuff like that, and just keep people there that are sensible. But it'll be worthwhile tuning in, I think.
Barry, thanks. And Rachel, how does everyone jump in and make sure that they have the link for that webinar?
Yeah, definitely. We're just finalising the date at the moment, but we'll be sending out an EDM to all our members from every state across New South Wales and also on our socials. So stay posted.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thanks for that, Barry. David, I will just throw to you briefly because obviously we do have a little bit of a mixture. You've touched on ACT. Are there any other kind of major COVID updates that you'd like to share? Probably not so much New South Wales because I think we've just got Joshua, but anything else from an ACT perspective that you wanted to share with us today? Oh, and you're
not as it stands. ACT at the moment's in a bit of a holding pattern because they're not sure which way they're going to go. It looks like they're not going down the vaccine passport route. Looks like they're going to go with everybody tapping out at 80% and then changing the rules there for the majority. There'll be slight easing probably at 70%, and that's not that far away for the ACT. So the ACT is probably going to be the first group in and out the other side, whereas that'll be followed by New South Wales. So they're the two groups that are by far ahead because of the smaller population and the ease of being able to get more doses into more people in the ACT. It means they're probably going to roll over those numbers a lot quicker than anyone else.
Excellent, David, thank you so much. And I've just noticed the only person I don't know where you're from is Barbara. Barbara, I'd love to know whereabouts you're listening from today, just to make sure that we've covered off all of the relevant updates here this afternoon. Let's see if Barbara's going to message me. We'll wait and see. So guys, once again, yeah, these conversations are really about you guys, and Eddie and Jen, if there's anything you guys want to say or add to the conversation, by all means jump on. Or
I guess I think on the last call, Chantal, the members were talking about, you know, some of the recent webinars and topics that have been on, and they've been taking part in some of the courses. Excuse my general language, Barry and Rach. I can't think of what the actual series was, but I know that Fitness Australia has been running different courses and things through COVID. Just wondered if you'd taken advantage of any of that and how you found some of the extra stuff that's been available online, or is anyone on the call taking part? I'd just sort of be interesting to get some feedback.
No.
Did you know that they were on? I guess that's the other thing.
That's the other question, perhaps not. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was some of the good feedback was
yeah.
People talking about the CECs that have been offered as part of those webinar series. So Rachel, you've got your microphone off. I'm going to ask you a question on the spot. I'm sure you'll have an answer for me. What webinars, besides the one that we just talked about with Barry, what webinars or information sessions have we got coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just quickly brief you all on the webinar series that we have. So we have two. So one of them is Industry Insights. So this is for all business members. And we also speak to noteworthy exercise professionals within the industry as well, giving advice and feedback. So Sharon, it's great to hear your feedback that you want to start your own fitness business, because those sessions will be of great value to you. They're all on our YouTube channel under Industry Insights, and Luke can also link it in the chat so you guys can all access that. We also have skill sessions which cover a range of avenues that you can upskill in. So we've got social media courses, we've got postnatal, we've got kettlebells, a plethora of information. And if there's anything that you guys would like information on, following on what Eddie said, definitely put it down below. Anything that you would be interested in, we can organize a webinar tailored to what you guys want to learn about. But we try to cover a broad range and keep it open to everyone. So upcoming, we have a Techno Gym webinar the next month. October is mental health focus. So we've got a couple of exciting mental health webinars coming up. We had a new team member join us, Tanil, who's going to speak with Barry on an Industry Insights webinar about the great resources offered to our VIC members. And also all the rest of Fitness Australia, but primarily in the VIC area, as it's a government funded program. And then we've also got, we'll be speaking to a mental health institute in October. However, it's just yet to be confirmed, but we do have really exciting webinars coming up. And if you guys have anything that you would like to suggest, definitely put it in the chat box, because I'd love to hear it. We'll definitely put it in the chat box, the links as well. So yeah.
Rachel, that was such a great summary. Thank you so much. And it's just been, I mean, for myself personally, I've been part of Fitness Australia as an AusRep for probably 12 or 13 years now, board member for the last 2 years. And it has been so good seeing the volume of educational content that's been put out lately. So to all of the team, thank you so much for that. And I definitely encourage everyone to make sure that you do check those out. Luke has been popping the playlists in the chat panel. And Sharon, I noticed that you just said you'd be interested in the webinar about the reality of starting up a soul fitness business. I'm sure there's been a few people on the call that will understand that. And yeah, Barry, great point. That is, most of the webinars earn CCs as well. And that was one of the things that came up in one of our previous state chats, the Fitness Australia is listening chat. So Rachel, that's awesome. I have another question for you, Rachel. What's been kind of the most popular webinar that we've had that people really have loved in the last month or so?
Ooh, some of our niche ones have done phenomenal. So we have Jen, who did a webinar on postnatal, and that received pretty high numbers. So I think we had about, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen and Luke, we had about 600 or 700, just the chat box kept on flowing. I think the one that's topped it, so the top 3 would probably be Kettlebells by Travis from Fitness Education Online, Michelle Wright, so Mishfit, and training older adults, and Jen. So they've been the top 3. But yeah, it's phenomenal to know, Sharon, that you would like, and we also had a recent Pilates webinar that did quite well as well. That was last month. Yeah, it's phenomenal to know that feedback, Sharon, and we'll definitely ensure that the next upcoming webinars are tailored towards starting up our own fitness business and how to do that.
Perfect. Rachel, thank you so much. Now, I haven't got any other feedback from anyone, or if anyone does have any questions, please make sure that they let me know. Jen or Eddie, anything else from you guys? Or I just want to open it up now to our board and to the Fitness Australia team. If you guys have any more messages that you want to share with those that are on, Rachel is a champion, I agree. Fantastic summary, Rachel. Thank you so much. Jen, you've got your mic off.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing, massive to say, but again, just to reiterate that the purpose that, Eddie, Chantal and I, raised the awareness and said we want to get out amongst people and listen, is really to listen to you guys. So again, this is your opportunity. You've got the 3 of us and the rest of the Fitness Australia team. And, we want to create a body that supports you in every aspect. So if there's something that's missing for you, something that's not communicated well, a struggle that you're having, any of that kind of stuff, jump in. And even if you spoke like Brett and Josh, we've heard from you, but it doesn't have to be the end. So if anybody wants to jump in and give us any more feedback, that's why we're here. So I think, Chantal, you're doing a very good job of continuing the conversation and making sure that we give as much information as possible, but we really do want everybody else's feedback. So, yeah.
Chantal, I think it's worth letting the participants know and reminding them that you, Jen and Eddie, are all directors. So you are all on our board. I know we started off by saying that, but this is an opportunity for the participants to actually have a direct comment and input through to you as directors. And if there's any comment out there that people are worried about saying because there's Fitness Australia staff on the call, please don't worry about it, because that's not what this is about. This is about giving you the opportunity to provide direct feedback to the directors who you elect into those positions. So if you have a comment, constructive criticism is always welcome, as far as I'm concerned.
Barry, thank you. Joshua, over to you.
How's the accreditation process gone? I remember going through that a little bit last year in terms of quality assurance program. And then I kind of got to that part where it was $3,000 and I went, ooh, I got stuck at that point. So has there been much follow-up with that? Has there been many people go through with that? Where's that at?
Great question. Who wants to take it? Barry?
Thanks, Chantal. Thanks, Josh. I think you better turn you on mute. You've got too many questions. So no, look, the accreditation is actually under review at the moment. What happened last year, late last year, was the independent company that we used to do the audits went belly up as a result of COVID. So we've had to find another independent company to do that process. But in the meantime, we're also developing a pilot program for what's currently called Accreditation Light, which will be available to all businesses at this stage at no cost, with the idea of helping, I guess, shift our members from just a registration to an accreditation level. And part of that exercise in developing that light package is taking apart the full accreditation program as well, and just making sure that it's relevant to moving forward, and that the cost is effective and accessible. For those that have been accredited because of COVID and because of the demise of the previous auditor, we've said you can have an extension now for 12 months to run that through while we get the whole thing together. So we also introduced last year a pilot program for accreditation for our AusReps, which I thought was what, when you asked your question, you're actually going to go down the path of. But basically what we're trying to do at Fitness Australia, and it's part of the strategy which has come out of COVID, where we've been, I guess, compared to allied health and not being regulated and so on, and trying to get our sector away from departments of sport across to departments of health and make ourselves more aligned, not part of it, more aligned with allied health, is to, I guess, try and increase our credibility and professionalism within the eyes of the consumer, government, health officers and all the rest of it, is introduce optional accreditation programs, which ideally will be as part of your membership fee, so there won't be an additional cost. As I said, the one for business members is in a pilot stage at the moment. That will be, once it's finished, that pilot stage will be rolled out in January. The accreditation of the independent AusReps is also subject to review at the moment. And watch this space.
Has there been a natural migration to more credibility with kind of like more people working towards that AQF level 5 diploma level, and a general surge in people maybe becoming a little bit more educated or taking on more formal education?
You're probably asking the wrong person on that one. I'm going to see if one of the regional managers can respond to that, because I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm happy to take that, Barry. I think really the push has come from more with our movement towards more health as opposed to sport and rec. So as you probably know at the moment, Josh, at a state and federal level, we firmly come under the sport and rec, which is often a nice to have as opposed to an essential service, whereas health, as we see ourselves being more aligned to, is that essential service. And you see, EPs and physios, etc., being able to continue to operate during lockdowns. And we feel that with the amount that the fitness industry does for health, not only physical health, but mental health, we feel like we should be, firmly under that category. So in order for us to push that, it's been clearly identified that an accreditation model, across the board, is something that we need to try and explore. So it's really come from that side, as opposed to from our members really actively asking for it. That's not to say there hasn't been that, but it is more, that long-term goal of us to move under health and sort of do things that way to better align, as Barry said.
Steve, Barry, thank you for that. We've also had a comment come in, a great question come in rather, from Sharon, who says, unrelated to COVID, can anyone recommend an excellent strength and conditioning online course? Who wants to take that one? We've got silence all around, but oh no, Rachel.
I would suggest to throw to Lucas, who's our CEC expert. But I do know Hayes has released a course online, strength and conditioning, and it's currently on sale for Fitness Australia members. I think it's $200, and I will definitely link it for you, Sharon, but it's on sale. It's normally $400, I think. So it's quite a good deal, but I'll link it for you, and I will direct the question to Lucas.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, normally I'm a bit hesitant to sort of single out any specific courses, because there's some that probably I'm more familiar with than others. So I'd recommend just going through our directory and having a look at, filtering by strength and conditioning. More recently, top of my head, there's great guys from Core Advantage who have some high quality courses. I think ASCA, maybe one of their courses is partially online. Who else have we got? There's heaps out there. Really, there's a lot. Yeah. And they all go through a big assessment process. So they're all pretty high quality. So there you go.
Rachel and Lucas, thank you for that. And in the meantime, Luke has been busy in the background and has just shared the link for all of our strength and conditioning courses there for you, Sharon, and anyone else that wants them. And Rachel has also shared the link to the course that she talked about. So hopefully there's heaps of information there for you. If anyone else has got any questions about anything that's available through your Fitness Australia membership, then please make sure that you ask away. I think anyone else, any last comments? We've got plenty of time. I'm not going to rush anyone, but equally, if we don't have any other comments, Joshua, thank you for your questions. That's been terrific. Rachel's got something to say.
I might just throw a question out there. Not too many people knew about our webinars. We do promote them via our emails and our social channels. Is there any way that we can reach you that you would recommend that you could hear about it? That would be amazing feedback for myself.
Yeah, excellent question, Rachel. Guys, you're welcome to come off mic or pop that in the chat box if you want. Let us know how to best reach you. Because Rachel, I think that we sometimes go via email, but sometimes we send text messages as well. Is that right? Or social media?
We haven't sent text messages in a while, but if that is definitely a form, yeah, I'd be open to it.
Okay, awesome. So that's one question to have you guys thinking about. I have a question for everyone, and that is, did anyone submit a nomination for the Fitness Australia Awards? Did anyone put in a nomination? No. Did you guys know about the nomination process for the fitness? Yes, good. Okay. Well, if you want to share those answers with us, please go ahead. You can pop them in the chat box, or you can come off your microphone. But I think I'll do what I said again. Oh, Rachel's just shared a discount code. Thank you for that, Rachel. I will go around again, and if there's anything, any additional comments, questions that any of the team or Eddie or Jen, Carrie has a statement. Thank you, Carrie. Just another comment regarding ACT and golf and tennis being permitted, but it seems odd that structured coaching outside one-on-one isn't being allowed. It would be great to see this being pushed, as many clients do not wish to participate in online virtual sessions. David, did you want to say anything to that comment?
I can say that about 95% of my conversations with the ACT government currently are related to that particular point. So please be assured that we are definitely pushing that point in with the government, but it's currently on their current easing of restrictions. It hasn't come up as something that they've allowed, but I'm trying to gain some clarity around their 5-person gatherings and seeing if they have just forgotten to write the fact that you're allowed to do personal training as a part of it.
David, thank you so much for that. And I just might reiterate what Barry said earlier, and that is, as much as possible, if you make sure that you're following the Fitness Australia social media pages, there are regular updates going onto them, as well as the COVID updates that Barry and the team do each week as well. Okay, Jen and Eddie, any last comments before we wrap up today? I think everyone's had a good opportunity, but by all means, I should say this is not a just one-time only show. If you guys want to have a chat to any of the board that are here today, Eddie, Jen, or myself, please feel free to reach out to us. I know we're all happy to have conversations, or any of the Fitness Australia team. By all means, please reach out. We hope to do some more of these sessions in the coming months. Hopefully, but I do want to say thank you for everyone's participation this afternoon, especially Joshua and Brett. Thanks for jumping on camera, to Carrie and to Sharon and everyone that's put some comments in there as well. Thank you so much. Barry, did you want to say anything before we finish up today? I know we're a bit early.
Thanks, Chantal. You mentioned the awards. We had well over 1,000 nominations for the awards, and for those who aren't aware, the winners will be announced as part of FILEX, the next FILEX event, which is coming up in the middle of October. You do not have to pay to attend the award presentation, and I'm really, really excited. We have Dylan Alcott, having won the Grand Slam this year in tennis, as one of our presenters, and going to do a short keynote for us. So if nothing else, it'll be worth tuning in to hear Dylan, because if you haven't heard him speak before, he's an absolute character.
And Golden Slam, wasn't it, that he's just achieved? Yep. Absolutely phenomenal. I am very, very excited to have Dylan part of our award ceremony. It'd be fantastic. So Rachel, I'll throw to you really quickly. How does everyone find out the details? It's Friday the 15th of October. When can they pop that in their diary and make sure that they can come along?
Yeah, definitely. So I am right now, as we're speaking, putting in the steps to get a ticket to the awards. So it's the 15th of October at 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. We have the beautiful Chantal hosting and Dylan Alcott, and it'll be amazing. We're going to try to make it as in person as possible, being a virtual session. So the winners will be, the person who'll be reading out the award, so the sponsor, will be actually having a letter, and it will be gold, and they'll be opening it for the winners to make it as lifelike as possible. And I hope you guys can all come. It's free to join the session, and it's only for an hour. So yeah.
Awesome. And I've got to say, personally, I've been involved in the events in the Fitness Australia Awards for the past 3 years now, and it is it's an honour to be able to be involved and see the accomplishments that happen within our industry. And there are numerous categories that we award each year, and it always reminds me just the amazing work that's being done out there, and it's so nice to see just how the Australian fitness industry is making an impact on people's lives. So I really do encourage everyone, and love to see as many of you there as possible, to come and celebrate your fellow fitness industry colleagues. It's a really great event to be a part of. So hope you guys can all make it.
And it's a great event to nominate, to nominate your staff and things too. I know I got an award quite a while ago now, but it's a real boost in motivation and excitement for your passion for the industry when you get an award. So I think it's a great thing to be nominating your teams. I know when I still remember the award and how exciting it was. I don't think that ever goes away. And I think that's a really good thing to remember when if you're leading teams. You might not be interested as an owner or a manager, but often the PTs coming up or the new starters would probably get quite a lot out of it. I know I certainly did, and I'm still very proud of the awards I got. So just to give that side of it as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chantal.
Couldn't agree more. So look, thank you once again, obviously, for this opportunity. We're really grateful for your time, for everyone that's attended this afternoon. As I said, please feel free to reach out if you do want to have a chat, if you're not comfortable chatting in a public environment like this. This series is Fitness Australia is listing, and that's exactly what we want to do. So on behalf of Jen and myself, and Eddie and myself, just thank you so much. It's a great honour to serve on the Fitness Australia board, and I really just want to thank you all once again for attending, and thank you to the FA team for joining us this afternoon and for your contribution and answering those questions for everyone. That's it. Without further ado, thank you so much, guys. Thank you once again for coming this afternoon.